The United States has officially entered a government shutdown again, but this time it's not just about politics, it's about power, punishment, and potentially permanent changes to how America works. Hundreds of thousands of federal workers are being sent home, offices might never reopen, and essential services could soon grind to a halt. So, how did the richest nation on earth get here again, and what does this shutdown mean for millions of ordinary people in America and the rest of the world watching? Hello viewers, I am Kavya Khandelwal and you are watching The Edge. Stick around because this one's more serious than you think. Let's start with what actually happened. Number 1, a meltdown. At 9:52 a.m. IST on October 1st, 2025, the clock ran out. President Donald Trump and the US Congress failed to reach an agreement on a budget to keep the government running. And with that, the federal government, the world's biggest employer, slammed on the brakes. The result, roughly 750,000 government workers are being furloughed, basically told to stay home without pay. Some might even be fired permanently as part of Trump's new plan to shrink the federal workforce. And Trump isn't hiding his intentions. He is openly warning that the plans to do things that are irreversible, that are bad, as payback for what he calls democratic obstruction. He is doubling down on his controversial deportation agenda even as programs for education, healthcare, and the environment stalls. Then comes shutdown, showdown, how they got here. This is US President Trump's third shutdown as president, but the first since his dramatic return to the White House earlier this year. So, what caused it? In short, health care. Democrats are demanding funding to keep Affordable Care Act subsidies alive. Those subsidies help millions of Americans pay for health insurance, and without them, premiums are already starting to skyrocket. However, Republicans who control the Senate have refused to even discuss it. They want a clean budget bill, no healthcare strings attached. And Trump, he is siding with the hardliners. He's been posting mocking videos of Democratic leaders online, and some critics are calling them racist. And he has refused to negotiate. Both parties tried to pass temporary funding bills and both failed. Now, with no agreement in sight, Washington is stuck. Now comes the human cost. But this isn't just a political game. The effects are real and they are immediate. Imagine relying on a government paycheck to pay your rent or feed your kids, and suddenly that money disappears. That's the reality for hundreds of thousands of federal workers right now. Government offices are locking their doors. Agencies that issue contracts, licenses, benefits, and permits are shutting down. Even the Smithsonian Museum, one of the most popular tourist spots in Washington, might close by next week. A group of former national park superintendents is already urging Trump to close the parks altogether, warning that leaving them open without staff is dangerous for visitors and disastrous for the environment. And that's just the start. The monthly jobs report, which usually moves global markets, might not even be released this Friday. Medicare and Medicaid will continue, but expect delays. Homeland Security will still operate, but with limited staff. And if you are waiting for a tax refund, a business permit, or a small business loan, good luck. Now let's talk about an unprecedented twist. Here's where things get really interesting and scary. Most shutdowns are temporary. Government reopens. Workers return, life goes on. But this time, the Trump administration is hinting that some changes might be permanent. Trump's Office of Management and Budget isn't just planning furloughs, it's preparing mass firing. Entire departments could be gutted under a new Department of Government Efficiency designed to permanently shrink federal power. In Trump's own words, he plans to cut programs they like, meaning services that Democrats and progressive states depend on could be first on the chopping block. That's why economists are worried this isn't just another short-term crisis. Shutdowns inflict economic cost, fear, and confusion across the country, warns Rachel Schneiderman, a former White House budget official, and this one could be worse than anything. America's seen before, a country held hostage. The irony, both sides are digging in. Republicans say Democrats are sabotaging the government to fight Trump. Democrats say Republicans are holding the country hostage over healthcare. And ordinary Americans are stuck in the middle, watching their paychecks disappear, their services shut down, and their leaders point fingers. This political tug of war isn't new. In 2019, the US saw its longest shutdown ever, which was for 35 days, over Trump's demand for border wall funding. In 2013, it was Republicans trying to kill Obamacare, but today's crisis feels different. The anger is deeper, the stakes are higher, and there's no off-ramp in sight. And here's the kicker. Financial markets, which usually ignore shutdowns, are watching this one closely. Goldman Sachs analysts warn there's no good comparison to this crisis because both parties have given up on compromise. If the shutdown drags on, the US economy, already fragile from inflation and rising costs, could take a serious hit, and the ripple effect could spread far beyond America's border, affecting trade, investments, and global markets. In the end, this shutdown isn't just about a budget. It's about who holds the power, Congress or the president, and whether America's democracy can still function when its leader refuses to compromise. For millions of people, the next few weeks will mean missed paychecks, stalled services, and mounting uncertainty. But for the world, it's a test of how much chaos the global superpower can handle before something breaks. Do you think this shutdown will force real change or just deepen America's political drive? Tell me in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow The Edge.